Hi, everyone. My name is Debbie Miller. I'm an Executive National Vice President with Arbonne, and I am so excited to share this with you. This is new consultant training. So if you are on this, listening to this training, you have just started an Arbonne business. And I remember that time 16 years ago. And just thinking about what your future holds is really, really exciting. So I am going to share some information that I think will help you in, boy, I'm trying to get good lighting, but this is crazy. That will help you understanding how to build your business and just some things to think about as you start on this journey. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started walking through this training. Okay, so first of all, this new consultant training workbook document you have access to. So you're going to want to download this, print it, and have it available so that you can, because there's pieces in here that you're going to want to fill out. And you're just going to want to have it close by as a reference. So we're going to start with how you get paid. All of us start wanting to make money. I think no matter who we are, even if maybe our initial goals aren't to make a big amount of money, we still want to pay for our products. We want to learn how to get paid, and more than likely, most of the people that you sponsor are going to want to know how to get paid. So let's talk about this first. So in Arbonne, we get paid twice a month. We get paid every Tuesday, and we get paid once a month on supposed to be the 10th business day. It's typically much earlier than that, 5th or 6th business day probably. And the two times that we get paid, the first time, your weekly, is commissions. So your client commissions, your preferred client commissions, those are going to get paid on a weekly basis every Tuesday. All your overrides will get paid once a month, and your bonuses will be included in that as well. So let's start with commissions and how you get paid. So obviously, we can sell product at retail. We get a 35% commission on that, and which is a really high commission. The problem is that I think most people want to buy on sale, and I certainly want to share the discount with my friends and family. I don't necessarily want to have them pay retail. I want them to get the discount. So don't generally recommend retail unless they don't have a very large order. So most people sign up to be a preferred client. And preferred client, at least here in the United States, and I do have a little chart here, it's $29 to become a preferred client. They get free shipping on qualified orders. They can earn free products. They get monthly specials. There'll be Black Friday deals. There's so many great benefits to being a preferred client. We're going to talk about those a little bit more in a second. So most of my clients are preferred clients. I don't have a lot of retail clients. In fact, I probably have none. Most of them are preferred clients. So if you want to make some right now money, or you have a new consultant that wants to make some right now money, this is how you do that. Okay, so let's say you have someone who you want to make a little money. Maybe you want to make $100. Then if you go out and sell, let's say you get a couple of friends interested in the 30-day to healthy living program. So if you sell 2 30-day special value packs, those each are about $48 in PC commissions. So that's our 15% on those. So if you sold 2 of them in a week, then on Tuesday you would get paid $96, almost $100. So for the most part, the ASVP packages are about $48 to $50. The makeup set is a little bit more when you sell one. So you can kind of figure that if I sell an ASVP, I'm going to get about $50 in my check next week. Okay, so that's kind of how you correlate it. If you sold 10, you can make almost $500. So it's all completely up to you. So that's how you make right now money. Your overrides are what you get paid on your team. So those are on your consultants. So as a consultant, if you sign up a consultant, you can earn a 6% override on what they do during the month. So that gets paid, like I said, those and the bonuses get paid once a month, about the 10th business day of the month. So what I want you to think about is, if I help someone, I get paid. Whether it's helping someone get healthier, helping someone get cleaner products, whatever that might be, I get paid. So that's really how you want to think about it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is QV. What is QV? So QV is kind of a point system. It's a universal figure. So I want you right now today to start thinking about a global business. And because of a global business with different currencies, et cetera, Arbonne has to have some way of putting us all on a level playing field. And that's what QV is. For the most part, in the US, QV equals the retail sales price, okay? Suggested retail sales price. With the exception of nutrition. Those might be, are typically a little bit less than the retail sales price, but for the most part it is. So it basically puts us on a level playing field. So if you buy a primer here in the US and it's $40 retail, we get $40 QV. But say in the UK, it might be 20 pounds, cost them 20 pounds, but it's still 40 QV, okay? So it's just kind of it's an acronym that you need to know. All maintenance, all bonuses, all qualifications, promotions, those are all based on QV. So you want to pay attention to QV. And your web stats will give you those numbers, which is our back office at Arbonne. Okay, so let's talk about preferred clients. So signing up a preferred client, like I said, typically it's $29. This is kind of what it is globally. $29 in the US to sign up. For 150 QV order, they would qualify for free shipping and would also qualify for a product on the next order. So what you really need to understand is that we do not sign anyone up as a preferred client without a $150 order. So if their order is not 150 QV, I do not sign them up. They can pay retail, or I can hang on to their order until they can accumulate 150 QV. And the reason being is because they lose all the benefits, right? They lose the free shipping. They lose the potential to have a free product if their qualifying order is big enough. They lose a lot of things. Plus, they don't get enough benefit to pay for their startup fee. Okay, so the other thing about 150 QV has to do with bonuses for you and for your upline and your team. So new signups do not count unless they're 150 QV. So in the interest of everyone, you don't want to sign anyone up for less than 150 QV. You don't want to duplicate that, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense, okay? So in order for them to count, they have to be 150 QV orders, and that allows them to count for your bonus and for your upline's bonus, okay? Now, sometimes I get the question about the registration fee, the $29. So the $29, I like to correlate it to a Costco membership, for example. So you pay a membership fee, and then you get to shop at Costco for a year. It's the same in Arbonne. You pay a membership fee, you get to shop at Arbonne for a year, but you get a discount, a 20 to 40% discount for a year for paying that membership fee. And with their qualifying order, we'll make sure that they get that back in their first order through the free shipping and through their discount. And if their qualifying order gets to $250, they get a free product as well. So definitely pays for itself. So that's kind of how I explain it to someone if you get a question about that, okay? Okay, so let's talk about bonuses. Arbonne has bonuses at every level. And as a consultant, you also can qualify for a bonus. In order to get a bonus, you need to do, you and your team, so not just you personally, but if you have signed up consultants, you and your team needs to do $2,500 in QV in a month, and you need to sponsor 2 PCs or 2 consultants. Okay, so that can be 1 consultant, 1 PC, 2 consultants, no PCs, just 2. And you'll get a $100 bonus. Here's what I'm going to say about bonuses. We have them at every level in Arbonne. So there's a district, area, region, nation bonus as well. It's money that Arbonne puts on the table. that we need to take advantage of. Okay, so never, never, never leave money on the table. It's not smart business, right? And typically it's kind of a minimum amount to grow your business with sales and sponsoring in order to get that bonus. So don't leave money on the table. So in the US, it's $100 for achieving that. So not only do you get your PC commissions, potentially an override commission, but you can also earn $100 in bonuses for doing $2,500 in your success line. So it's a pretty sweet deal. Okay, so that is that. All right, why district manager? Okay, so district manager is a critical point in your business. So if you've, and I'm assuming if you are a consultant, you've probably been to a Discover Arbonne, you've heard a little bit about the opportunity presentation. And so you know, or you should know, that Arbonne's compensation plan is multiples of 4, and it's based off a $2,500 building block, okay? You can build to national vice president by promoting to district manager and teaching others to do the same thing. If you can become a district manager making machine, you have everything it takes to be a national vice president, because that's what we're duplicating. We all have a virtual store that we, our PCs, our personal orders, people who are purchasing from our virtual store. And we want to get to a place where at a minimum, we're doing $2,500 a month in there. So in the beginning, it's going to feel like, I mean, you are having to work to gather your clients, right, to get to that $2,500 place. And what that looks like is, 8 or 9 ASVPs a month, basically. So for the first few months, you are gathering new clients. But then you're going to start to see some reorders. Now, if it's nutrition primarily, you may see reorders in your second month pretty quickly, because people will get on the 30-day to healthy living program and they'll use those products for 30 days and then they'll reorder them to either continue the program or just to maintain. So nutrition, you will see a higher reorder rate. Skincare lasts a long time, as do cosmetics and so many other things. So while you will see some reorders, you will also see some things like maybe they buy skincare, but now this month they're going to spend a little money and they're going to buy their shower products or some cosmetics or some hair care or something like that. So you will see some reorders, but just keep in mind that for the first 90 days, you might have to work a little bit to keep that $2,500 building block, okay? So that's the first thing I'm going to say. $2,500 building block is a key component to our business. You want to do that every month. You want to teach your teams to do that every month. And if you can do that, then you can pretty much predict when you're going to promote to the next level. All right. So district manager is a $2,500 building block. Now, to promote to district manager, you do 6,000 in 1 or 2 months, or 7,500 over 3 months. Okay, there's that $2,500 building block, right? So if you want to do it a little quicker, it's less. So I recommend you do that. Why would you work harder? It's 6,000 is, $1,500 less than 7,500. So why wouldn't you want to get paid on that extra $1,500 as a district manager? So 6,000 over 1 or 2 months, 7,500 over 3 months. Okay, why do I want to get to district manager? Well, I just mentioned one reason, and you want to do it as quickly as possible, because this is a level that duplicates, okay? So however fast you go, that's going to be your expectation for your new consultants, and it's also going to be their expectation. So if you go in 1 or 2 months, that's what they're going to do. If you take 6 months, that's probably what they're going to do, okay? So if you want to build a successful business from the get-go, get to district manager as quickly as possible, okay? So just get it done. Now, what happens at district manager is really cool, because now you get paid twice on the same work. Okay, so remember you've got your clients, your PC clients, you're getting PC commissions, right? So now as a district manager, you get 8% override on all of that, plus your own personal orders. Okay, so it can be significant. Your bonus goes up by $100. So now you have this $200 that's sitting on the table for you and your team achieving a certain level. It's 5,000 QV plus 5 new consultants or preferred clients in a month. And then we also have this bonus boosters program, which happens once you promote. And we'll talk about that at a later time, but just know that that's out there. Once you promote, you have kind of extra money sitting on the table and the ability to earn an RE9 set with a water bottle in the month or two after you promote. So don't forget about that. Okay, so how do I get to district manager? Because if you're sitting there and you were like me as a brand new consultant, you're thinking $6,000 all by myself, that's pushing a lot of product, right? So what I want to say to you is I don't want you to think about it like that. So the more people you have working with you, the smaller that number becomes, okay? We always want to do 2,500 ourselves. Okay, so I am going to say, I want you right now to take responsibility for 2,500. Okay, so 2,500 of that 6,000 is yours. But, so I want you to draw out the way I want your team to look. This is in a perfect scenario. Okay, so you're going to draw a piece of paper. You're going to draw a circle and put your name in it. And then draw a line with another circle and another line with another circle. If you already have team members, if you already have consultants, then I want you to put their names in those circles. If you don't, that's our first priority. And it's not just yours, but your upline will help you with finding those two people. It is our priority as well. Remember, we work as a team, right? Your success is our success. So we want to help you find those team members. And as a brand new consultant, it's hard to find those team members without the help of your upline. So make sure you're engaging them to do video chats, to do one-with-ones, get them on the Facebook Lives, whatever you have to do, but let us or let the tools help you build that, because it's really difficult as a branding consultant when you don't really know that much about how to do this, to answer their questions. And there's just something about third-party validation that is key. I know for myself even that when I'm sitting across from someone that I want to personally sponsor, I'm not at my best the same as I am when I'm in front of my consultant's prospect. There's something about that level of maybe disengagement a little bit that allows me to be better. And I think we're all like that. So bring your upline with you when you are sponsoring, especially your dream team. We're going to talk about them in a little bit, to talk to them about this business. We've done this many, many, many times. We know kind of how to direct a conversation. We know questions to ask. It's just experience is all it is. And there is something about that independent third party that's not you talking to your friends and family that can be so much more powerful. So I really encourage you to engage your upline. Okay, so how does this look? So remember I said you're going to do 2,500. So 2,500 goes in your block, in your little bubble. And then if you sponsor a consultant and you're going to teach them to do the same thing, they might do $2,500 too, right? You get credit for that. So now you've got 5, right? You got credit for that. And then your other consultant, maybe she got started really late in the month and she places her own personal order and she gets a couple of preferred clients and she does 1,000. Okay, so she gets in qualification for district, but she doesn't quite do 2,500. Well, that also counts, right, towards yours. So now that's 6,000. You did 2,500, but you also have a couple of team members that are contributing to your 6,000. If you had 4, right, people who worked right out of the gate, that's very easily we can show you how to go from qualifying to district to promoting to district to actually going into qualification for the next level of management, which is area manager. Okay. All right. So area manager. Okay, so area manager. So I don't want to go into a lot of detail on the next levels, but that's how you can go into qualification for area manager. And there are people every day doing this. They are finding their business partners right out of the gate. They're all running, and they're doing 2,500, but so are their team members, and it adds up very fast. And you can build very, very quickly. And when that happens, your override percentage goes from 8 to 14, 8 plus 6, so 14%. Your cash bonus goes from 200 to 400. And once again, you have bonus boosters once you promote to area manager too. So halfway to the Benz, the next promotion after area manager is the Mercedes-Benz. And the average income at this level is about $1,500 a month. So it's significant. And for people to be able to go start their business on day one and get to this place fairly quickly and make that kind of money, it's life-changing and it's also attractive. So you will attract a lot of people into your business if you start making that much money that quickly with our business. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about your why. What is it? Why it's so important? And you'll hear this a lot in Arbonne because it is kind of so key. Here's the thing about our business. You don't have a boss. I'm not your boss. I don't want to be your boss. You don't want me to be your boss. It's a blessing and a curse, right? It's so cool to be in charge and in control of your own time and your own schedule. But at the same time, sometimes when we know we have to get up and be at work at 8 o'clock and someone says we can't go home until 5, that works for people. So in this business, you have to be motivated to work. So your why is your motivation. We used to say, have a why that makes you cry. Honestly, I heard someone say the other day, you need a why that makes you work. And that's it. You have to have a why that makes you work. What would make you get out of bed? What makes you stop what you're doing for a little bit of time every single day to work your Arbonne business towards your future? So we want to talk about what is your why. Okay, and this is kind of where I hope you have this printed out because there's a lot of places here for you to kind of take notes. So think about what your main priorities are. What do you want out of this business? And I would say, it could be choices and travel and more time with your family and, meeting new people, retirement, college funds, so many things. But I would say for most people, if you really think about it and you break it down, it's really this financial freedom. That's really what gives us all of that. So it's money. Money gives us the freedom, the time freedom. It gives us choices. It allows us to travel. It gives us the time to spend with our family. It really gives us all of that. So financial freedom, for the most part, is probably a big one for you. But think about, what is your number one priority, and then we're going to kind of delve down into this, right? So on the next page, it's like, okay, so why are these things, whether it's financial freedom and travel and retirement funds or whatever it is, why are these things important to you? What does that give you, right? Is it the memories? Is it the, more time with your family? Is it, I don't want to work for somebody else. I want to, create my own schedule. I want to have my own, I'm independent. I want to have my own freedom about how much time I can take off and when I can take off, etc. So why is that important to you? And probably more important than that is, what are the consequences of not having that? Okay. So really think about, if I don't do this, what's my life going to look like? Right. And what will my family what will my family not have if I don't make this work? Okay. So your kids might be in daycare, right? You're going to sit in rush hour traffic every day. You're going to dread every Monday. And the thought of having to sit in that cubicle or in that office from 8 to 5 every day. You are going to continue to build credit card debt, or not be able to pay off college loans, or, buy the house that you want, or, really just get ahead, right? So what are the consequences of not having this second stream of income, of not doing something different with your life? What are the consequences of that? And then what do you have you had enough of? I can tell you right now that one of the things I had enough of was watching the clock. And I just felt like when I was working that, I had to, if I was running a few minutes late, I felt like all my coworkers were wondering, why was Debbie late, right? And if I left a few minutes early to go do something, whether it was, maybe it was a holiday party at school, or it was a field trip or something. It's like, where's Debbie going today? I hated that. And it wasn't always my boss. It was the people around me that were wondering or thinking that I was maybe taking advantage, right? I hated that. I'd had enough of that. I'd had enough of feeling like I was at work from 8 to 5 when I could have done that job. Maybe I needed to still work those 8 hours, but what if I worked them at night when my kids were asleep? I mean, I had several hours at night. My kids went to bed at 7. I could have worked until 10. I could have had 3 hours during the day when they were up and awake. And then spend, a few hours while they were napping and work my business in my time, right? I hated the idea of someone else telling me when I had to work. So, what have you had enough of? Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Are you tired of, maybe your kids' extracurricular activities? I know I have a lot of friends in this position where their vacation money is going towards club sports because it's so expensive. And then they have the travel, and their vacation time becomes those traveling events because they don't have enough time to take another vacation. When you're working for someone else, you're being sold at retail and you are getting paid wholesale. I mean, if you're not making them money, then you don't have a job. So are you tired of that, making someone else rich because that's what you're doing, or not getting paid on the efforts that you have, working overtime and not getting paid for that? So what have you had enough of? And then we're going to start to kind of construct your why that you might talk to people about when you were introduced to Arbonne and what that looked like. So how were you introduced? What first intrigued you about the business? So for me, I was introduced at a home party. My daycare provider invited me. And I wasn't at all intrigued by the business at that point, but I was intrigued by the products. But what later intrigued me about the business was I had no idea that you could make 6 figures in a business like this. And when I understood that it wasn't about selling a bunch of product, then I was really intrigued, that it was really about creating leverage. And honestly, an asset with a passive income stream. That was so intriguing to me. And that's really what got me going. So what were your hesitations? Probably whatever your hesitations are, those same hesitations are going to be the people you talk to. So certainly time was one for me. My husband was traveling all the time, 5 days a week. So I was a single full-time working mom with these 2 little kids, 1 and 3 at home. And, when am I going to fit this in? I was already exhausted. So that was one. The other one was my ego, my professional ego, because I was a licensed professional. I had a 6-figure job with an amazing company that was well recognized, and I loved telling people what I did. And I got this, wow, that must be cool or whatever, to you're doing that. So that was my hesitation, but it was the hope and the dream was worth more to me than maybe the pridefulness, the humbleness I had to feel doing this business. And let me tell you today, I have tremendous pride in what I do, and the numbers of people that I can help, not only with their finances and building this business, but even with just their health, because of the products that we have. So what were your hesitations? What are they? So think about those. And then what is Arbonne going to do for you and your family? What do you see your future to be? And here is where I really want you to dream big. So I want you to think about, what do you want? And maybe write down 5 things. What do you want? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to build a college fund? Do you want to have a retirement income? What if you built a retirement income of $5,000 or $10,000 a month without having assets in the bank? But you had this Arbonne income that was coming in every single month. And on top of it, we have incentive trips and things that you can earn. So you get to travel on Arbonne's dollar in your retirement. I mean, that's pretty incredible. What if you want to go shop and you don't want to have to worry about how much things cost? What if you want designer clothes? You just want to walk in, you want to buy whatever you want with not a second thought. That's something that you want, write that down. What if you want to travel first class? No more, Motel 6, no more, airline flights where you have 3 legs because it's the cheapest flight, and that you're sitting in the, back of the bus, Maybe you want to sit up front and have, a glass of wine while you're traveling and have a movie in front of you and lots of leg room. Travel 5-star. What if you want that, right? Travel to Europe, travel all over the world and not really have to plan for years to take that kind of a vacation with you and your family. Stay at home, right? Leave your job, work from home, make your own schedule, take your kids to school, pick them up, go on every field trip. Be there every day when they get home from school. What if you want you and your husband to be home every day together? That's the reality for a lot of national vice presidents. Both their spouses are home. And that's a pretty incredible thing for you and your family. Kids want something. Maybe you're in a position right now where you have to really think about it, or no, we can't afford it. What if you didn't have to say that anymore? What if your kids wanted something and you could actually give them those things? I'm not saying we need to buy our kids everything, because that is not the case. But what if you had the ability to say yes when you really wanted to say yes? What about charity, mission trips? Do you want to give back to your community? So those are all really incredible things. So I want you to think about, what is this going to do for you and your family? And dream big. And then I want you to find pictures, right? Create that dream board. Have that in front of you every day, so that when you're trying to find that 45 minutes to an hour every day, because you need to work this business every day, do something little for your business every day, that it's in front of you and you're like, oh yeah, I need to do this for my family. I need to pull out my phone. I need to text a few people to get on the Facebook Live tonight, or I need to invite them to coffee, or I need to schedule a coffee, right? So make sure you do that. Okay, so then let's talk about your goals. And this is something, all of this you're going to want to share with your upline. So that's kind of what this is for. So we want to break them down. We'll start with your first, kind of immediate 3 to 6 months. What do you want to do? What do you want to, get out of this? Do you want to make an extra $300, $500 a month, $1,000 a month? What is it? What are those immediate financial goals? You want enough money to, make a car payment, maybe even a house payment, right? We just, as your upline, we just need to know what that is. And then we can tell you what that's going to take. And then you can decide, okay, yes, I'm going to do that. Or maybe I need to make my 3-month goal a 6-month goal, right? This really just helps us strategize with you to figure out what you need to do to get to what you want, okay? And then I want you to think out 5 years. And keep in mind that the average time, if you're working your business consistently every single day, the average time to get to national vice president is 5 years. So in 5 years, you could be a national vice president making an average of $21,000 a month, okay? Is that your goal? Is that what you want? Could you even imagine that happening? I will tell you that I think sometimes we overestimate what we can do in 3 to 6 months or even a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 5. So while maybe you can't quite see that because you can't comprehend that amount of money, I can promise you that it can happen. Focus on the district manager. Focus on promoting a couple of district managers, and you'll start to see how this works and how you can get to that place. Okay, and then just, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? What does it look like on a day? Are you working? Are you home? Do you wake up to an alarm clock? I wouldn't have to wake up to an alarm clock, except I have to get my kids ready for school. So I do. But it's really, they're driving that schedule. It's not me. Or if I want to get up early and I want to work out, or I want to have that quiet time to do my personal development and read, do my yoga, whatever it is. But I get to choose versus being forced when that happens. And then, what does your summers look like with your family? Are you home every day with them? Are you traveling the world with them? Are you going on vacations? My husband and I are taking, my daughter's a senior, and we made a kind of a decision when my oldest was a senior that we're going to take them on a bucket list trip. And we'll be spending 3 weeks in Europe this summer. And, neither one of us has to worry about time off. I can work my business from Europe because almost everything we do is from cell phone and a laptop. As long as I have Wi-Fi, I can work my business. So while I certainly will be spending a lot of time enjoying it with my family, I know that I can stay on top of my business. I can do video chats from wherever. I can build my business while I'm there. But how cool is that to build my business in Europe, right? It's just what do you want your life to look like? Will you have a beach house somewhere, or a house in the mountains, where you and your family can go over the holidays, or, go skiing several times a year? I mean, what a lake house maybe, just what does it look like? What would you do? Would your kids be able to go to college anywhere they wanted to go? I just want you to really think about what your life will look like in 5 years if you're a national vice president. Will you own a house? Will you pay a house off with cash? It's pretty crazy to think about, but it can so happen. Okay. Now we want to talk about who. So those bubbles, remember those bubbles. If you don't have, and even if you do have a couple of people on those bubbles, I want you to think about who your dream team is. So these are the people that you want to build this business with. If you were going to invest $250,000 into a new business, who would be on your board of directors? Who would you want as your VPs? Who do you want to travel with? Who do you want to work with every day? What are their characteristics and qualities? And I would say most of the time they are, people that we love to hang out with. They're successful. They're well-liked. They light up a room. They're positive. They have a great attitude. For me, being having that positive attitude is a huge characteristic in this business, because what we do, it's not easy all the time, right? And there's bumps and hiccups every day, and how you go after that, or how you react to that, is everything. So is it going to be a woe is me kind of attitude, or this isn't working, or is it going to be a how am I going to make this work? What can I do differently that will make this better? Those are the kind of people I'm looking for, because I know those are the people that are going to go to the top. So who do you want? What are those qualities of those people? And then I want you to write down it. You want to have at least 10 people on your dream team list. And ideally you get 5 of them in front of your upline in the next week. So in the next 7 days, if you can do that in front of your upline VP, we can start helping you build your team. This thing will rocket. And that 6,000, 7,500, maybe even 10,000 will seem like nothing, because you've got that team around you. When I was first when Deanna first sat down with me and was sharing this business, she said to me, Debbie, if you work 10 hours a week and you can find 4 others that'll work 10 hours a week, you get paid for 50 hours, but you're only working 10. That's the beauty of this business. So we want to find those runners with you as soon as possible. So what kind of, qualities? I think in our business, being healthy is important, or wanting to be healthy and wanting to live a healthier lifestyle. Being a go-getter, having some ambition, and a good work ethic is important too. So anyway, those are just some characteristics. So write down those lists of people, and then we need to reach out to them. And, that's really just, hey, Susie, I just got off, a training call. I just started my business with Arbonne. I'm so excited. I have no idea if this is something that you would ever be interested in doing with me, but I thought of you because of this, and this, right? Because you've been successful. I love working with you. You light up a room. And I would love for you to do this with me. But at the very least, would you sit down and at least listen to what this is all about? And invite them to go to coffee with your upline. Schedule a time for them to go to meet, and for you to share with them what it is that you are so excited about. Okay, so at the end of this workbook, you'll also find a place to write your 100 list. So it kind of, it's a memory jogger, basically. I would say writing your list, writing it down instead of doing it electronically, for whatever reason, my recommendation is to do that. I think when you're writing, it makes you think differently, and other people will pop into your head as you're writing. So I encourage you to get a spiral notebook or something like that to write them down. And then as you are reaching out to them and talking to them, Arbonne's new CRM tool, which is part of our consultant membership right now, is a great place to keep track, right? So you can put them in there. You can take notes and mention, you know, what you kind of where they are in the process, what you talked about, any hesitations they had. You can, so you don't have to remember it up here. You can keep it in there, and then you can put a to-do on there that you need to follow up, right, in a few days, or you know, whatever it might be, and it'll pop up on your to-do list. So that's another great tool for you. But initially, just write your list down. And today, you know, 100 names with social media, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, we didn't have that when I started 16 years ago. So, you know, I kind of relied on my Christmas card list and the my guest list for my wedding, and just, you know, flipping through my, obviously my address book too. But just start writing, and maybe star people that come to mind that you're like, oh, she might be one of my 10 for my dream team. And then the last thing down here is there's a to-do list. So your sponsor can help you with this. We have a website with a password that has a lot of the information that you're going to need, the tools that you're going to need to build your business. Get your 100 person list. Add your website URL to your Instagram and your Facebook. So anyway, you can read through these things. These are just things that you're going to want to block out time on your calendar for calls, etc. So things that you're going to want to do. And then of course we do a lot of abbreviations in Arbonne, so that's here for you as well. So I just want to tell you that I'm so excited for you. I'm excited that you're on our team. I'm grateful that someone brought you to this place. More than likely, you and I don't know each other, but you're probably in my organization somewhere. And that is the beauty of this business. I make new friends every day. My best friends are Arbonne consultants, upline, sideline, and my downline, people that I would have never met. And we do life together today. We go on trips, and our kids grow up together. And to be quite frank, our kids are different because they have, most of us are moms, right? They have a mom who sets goals and goes after incentives and promotes and is a major contributor financially in their family, and yet is there, available for them. And that becomes their expectation. So I am so excited for what the future brings, can hold for you. But you have to get to work, right? You have to talk to people. You have to get out there and share Arbonne, both the products and the business, and build that team and that organization, and then just watch what happens. So I hope I meet you soon on another training call, or maybe live at GTC. But so excited for you, and in your corner. So congratulations and best of luck.